Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the wedding ceremony of this man and this woman in holy matrimony. The past year and a half have been filled with obstacles, challenges for the whole world, and yet these two have started something beautiful. They have stepped out on faith, they've started new careers, they bought a new home, and they have a beautiful son. These things are very much against the odds of any young couple, but especially ones living through the pandemic that had the whole world shut down. Today they've decided to share in this brief window of time that we have to share their love with each other, with all of us. It is not a coincidence that they chose this chapel to get married in. Sure, it's the church that I preach in, and sure, it's charming, and you can't beat the price of a free wedding. But this church has become a part of their lives, where not only do they come Sunday to sing praises and hear the word, but this is where birthday parties have been held, Dungeons and Dragons games were played, Christmases, Thanksgivings, Easters. This church is a home for them, and is as much a home for them as the house that they live in. So it is only fitting to have this ceremony here. There's a song that was really popular back in 1985 called The Power of Love. The lyrics profoundly speak on the topic of love. Paraphrasing this song, it opens saying, "The power of love is a curious thing. It can make a grown man weep, make another man sing. It can turn a hawk into a little white dove. It's more than a feeling, it's the power of love." There's a poem that goes along with this sentiment. It says, "Love is tougher than diamonds, but smoother than cream. Stronger and harder than one could dream. Make a bad one good and a wrong one right. It's the power of love that keeps us together at night." Love is the reason that we are gathered here. As the song makes it clear, the power of love is what brought them together and has allowed them to weather the storm of 2020 and into 2021. The wedding vows that we speak are derived from an oath that two people made in the Bible, and the love that these people have for each other was strong and allowed them to weather some of the worst tragedies. Ruth was speaking to her mother-in-law, Naomi, who had just lost both her sons, and Ruth lost her husband. Naomi urged Ruth to go back to her people, and Naomi would go back to her own people. And Ruth says this. Next slide. There we go. But Ruth said, "Don't force me to leave you. Don't make me go home. Where you go, I go. Where you live is where I'll live. Your people will become my people. Your God is my God. Where you'll die is where I'll die, and it's where I will be buried. So help me God." Not even death itself is going to come in between us. In many ways, I see Naya in the story of Ruth. Naya has easily fit into the landscape, this church, his family. If one didn't know any better, you would swear that Jake and her have grown up together and were grade school sweethearts. Without saying the words, she has lived out this oath with Jacob. And today, the two of them make the oath together. And now it's time for the marriage intentions. Jacob, I will ask you a series of questions, and if it is your intentions, then say I do at the end. Jacob, do you take this woman to be your wife, to live together in holy matrimony, to love her, to honor her, to comfort her, and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Naya, I'll ask you a series of questions, and if it is your intentions, at the end say, I do. Now, do you take this man to be your husband, to live together in holy matrimony, to love him, to honor him, to comfort him, and to keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
There's a poem entitled Why Marriage by Marcy Nichols. Because to the depths of me I long to love one person, with all my heart, my soul, my mind, my body. Because I need a forever friend to trust with the intimacies of me, who won't hold them against me, who loves me when I'm unlikable, who sees the small child in me, and who looks for the divine potential of me. Because I need to cuddle in the warmth of the night with someone who thanks God for me. With someone I feel blessed to hold, because marriage means opportunity to grow in love and in friendship, because with this understanding, the possibilities are limitless. At this time, the couple would like to do a water ceremony symbolizing their union as one. Now we commence with the wedding vows. The couple have written their own vows, and they will say them now. Jacob, you get to go first.
Try to keep collected.
Not like it would matter. I wouldn't have been able to read it anyway.
I say, Naya, I have worked on this for several days in my head, on paper, on the computer, and last night, with constant rewrites and rethinking, but in the end, to keep it simple, and so that way I can go on without rambling. I cannot figure out how to make this perfect, so I guess this will have to do for now. With these vows that I will extend throughout the rest of our life together, adding and attempting to show you, explaining to you just how much I truly love and care for you. For in the end, nothing I can say will be enough, hence the paper to keep me on track. You are the greatest thing that has ever happened to me, and now we have a family of our own. You saved my life just when I needed it most, and I know sometimes you don't understand just how or what you have done to do so. I'm sorry it's so impossible to describe. But that is why I vow to you that as our family grows and our time together goes on to our end and beyond, that I will spend each and every second that you may just see how deep my love goes for you in this family of ours. And that in those darkest moments and brightest of days, I will be by your side, tending to, caring for, loving, and cherishing you for each and every bit of it. For even in the darkest moments, I know we will grow stronger because of them, and that I may save you from them as you have from me. To which I conclude and say once again, I love you to the moon and back, forever and always, to infinity and beyond, and now till death do us part.
Well, I definitely can't one-up that, that's for sure. Well, as you can see, I didn't write mine down, but to be fair, I had a feeling that I wasn't going to be able to read it anyway, so I I remember the first time that we met at the D&D game that Austin was running in you guys' apartment, and we weren't together at that point, but you showed so much care for somebody that at that point you had just known, and I knew that we'd be good friends, and definitely didn't expect this. I remember the night in Cherryfield after you offered to move in with me to keep me able to live here like I had hoped. When I was in Holton visiting friends, and you were talking to me about a lady who had stopped on our door and had asked you for help. And the factor that you didn't blink an eye to this total stranger asking you for help, and you drove them all the way to Ellsworth, if I'm remembering correctly. This complete stranger. And I was terrified, absolutely terrified, even though you and I had not really started dating at that point, that I was going to lose you. And just how much you care for everybody around you and the way that you interact with Connor. I am the world's luckiest girl. And I'm kind of mad at you for stealing the saying first, darn it. I love you.
I love you too.
May I see the rings?
Careful he doesn't steal your bow tie there, babe.
It's an Irish tradition to hold the rings, for the pastor to hold the rings and warm them in his hands and pray a blessing upon the rings and upon those that wear them. Will you pray with me now? May these rings remind he who gives it, and she who wears it, and she who gives it, and he who wears it, of your love, like the sun, warm all that it touches, like the moon, brighten up the night, like the eye is a gateway to their innermost soul. And your love, like the arms that embrace you, makes everything right for the world. May their marriage know peace in times of storms, may it know rain in times of drought, and may they seek your light in times of darkness. Amen. Jacob, place this ring on Naya's finger. Well, by the powers vested in me by Asheville Community Church and the great state of Maine, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.